All right, well, today is also a very special day for local veterans. We are joined this morning with Ansley Watson. They are down at the honor flight at the Delta County Airport. And good morning, Ansley. Looks like it's exciting.
Good morning, Vicki. 74 veterans are gathering here in the Delta County Airport hangar where, for one thing, it's called the Honor Flight. It's basically year 9 called Mission 9, where veterans are flown up to Washington, D.C. for free to experience the National Mall and to get to see all the war memorials. This morning, I'm joined by a veteran, John Alwarden. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. One question, why is this flight so important to you and the rest of the veterans?
Well, I wanted to see them. I've never been to Washington. I like to see them more. The biggest thing is being with all these fellow veterans and see it as a group like this.
It's a neat thing. Thank you so much for serving, and thank you to the rest of the veterans who are serving. It means so much to this country. Stay around for more important information about why this flight is so great. Reporting live in Escanaba, Ansley Watson, TV6 News. All
right, thank you very much, Ansley. I hope they have a great flight out. It is a very exciting time for them. You can hear the parties already going on.
Yes. Party at 5:30 in the morning there.
That's like us every day,
That's
right? Good morning, everyone. The Honor Flight Network helps veterans live out a dream. This morning, Ansley Watson is in Escanaba telling us more about the organization and today's flight. Good morning, Ansley.
Good morning, Vicki. I'm in the Delta County Airport hangar where I just saw veterans who served in World War II, the Korean War, and the Vietnam War go off to board a plane that's going to take them to Washington, D.C. so they get to see war memorials and get to discover the National Mall. This morning, I'm joined with a veteran, Paul Roll. He served in the Korean War.
Correct.
Thank you for serving, by the way. And you went on this flight back in April.
April, when it was cold.
How did you enjoy yourself? How did you love this trip?
Oh, the trip was outstanding. It was just fabulous to see all the memorials in one day. And in fact, we got to see the memorial at the Pentagon, which is normally not open to the public or the tours. But one of our motorcycle escorts went down while we were at the Air Force Memorial. And it was only about a 3-minute drive down to the Pentagon, and that was quite impressive.
What have been some of the other emotions and reactions that you've heard from veterans about this flight?
Well, they're all basically the same. They certainly enjoyed the trip and that, and it was nice to get there and see all the memorials. And it was, on a personal basis, it was quite touching at times, especially when we went through the airport at Reagan. And all the people that were in between flights in the terminal moved to the side, and they stood there and applauded us vets as we walked down through the terminal. And that was catchy.
Incredible. What would you like to say to the younger generation about just serving your country?
Well, you'll do just like we did. You'll do what you have to do when it's time, and you can't say when it'll be or what it'll be or anything else. And we certainly went in the service with no thoughts of any recognition like this today.
What would you like to say to the Honor Flight Network and the nonprofit organization who puts this on for you guys?
Well, I've worked for nonprofits, and in fact, I've helped raise money for nonprofits, and it's a very rewarding experience to give, and no, they don't need to know who you are, but it's a reward, a personal one.
Well, like I said, thank you again, Paul, for serving our country. We really appreciate you and the rest of your brothers and sisters who did this for us. Stay tuned, stick around. We'll talk more about what will happen at this hangar when the veterans come back tonight around 8:30 in the evening. Reporting live in Escanaba, Ansley Watson, TV6 News.
Thank you very much, Ansley. You know, it is an incredible thing, and it's done thanks to everybody. Yeah. It's a way for us to give back. So if you ever have the opportunity to donate to the Honor Flight, that's who it's for, people like Paul.
Yeah, and they really appreciate it, as you can see, and it's a great opportunity for them who have done so much for us. Welcome back. Well, just about right now, veterans are getting ready to fly off to Washington, D.C. this morning. TV6's Ansley Watson talks to us about why this is happening and, of course, how you can welcome them back later tonight. Good morning, Ansley.
Good morning, Sam. As we're speaking, the veterans are taking off right now on their journey to Washington, D.C. to get to see the war memorials. It's an incredible thing. Here joining me this morning is one in charge of the whole ordeal. Sue, thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you. It's an honor to be with you and to have you here broadcasting live from our airport in Delta County.
So you've been involved with the Honor Flight Network all 9 years, you said.
All 9 flights.
How many veterans have come through and gone on this flight?
On the flight, we've taken almost 700 veterans, but we did honor a group at the Jacob Eddy Center that couldn't fly with us, so we've honored about 800 veterans so far.
Wow. How did the network start, and how would people get involved?
Well, the Honor Flight Network itself started in the year 2005. However, in the UP, it started in 2011 with an idea that Barb Van Roy had to fly our UP veterans to DC free of charge. So if you want to get involved, we have a website, upperpeninsulahonorflight.org, and you can go to that and download any of our forms. The Guardian forms are on there. Also, we have World War II out there and Korean forms.
Now, they're going to have a fun-filled day out in D.C. today, but then when they arrive back tonight, this evening, there's going to be events here, aren't there?
Yes, we have a huge welcome home. We hope everybody can make it. We have the barbershoppers here, the Little German Band. We'll have items for sale. We'll have food. And it is such a treat to be able to honor our hometown heroes.
What do you think this flight means to the veterans?
I can't even imagine. None of them feel like they deserve it, number one. They are in awe. When they get there, there'll be school children greeting them, politicians greeting them, family members that they don't know are going to be there will be greeting them. It's overwhelming for a lot of them. It's a very tear-filled day, but it's tears of joy.
Thank you, Sue.
Thank you.
Come on out this evening, support our veterans coming back from their great trip to Washington, D.C. today on the Honor Flight. Reporting live in Escanaba, Ansley Watson, and we'll be back with more of your TV6 morning news after the break.